What if I told you that the ancient Egyptians discovered the exact moment when your soul either survives death forever or gets completely erased from existence? For over 4,000 years, they documented a terrifying ceremony where your heart, containing every choice you've ever made, gets weighed against a single feather. Pass this test and you enter eternal paradise. Fail, and a creature called Amit devours your soul completely. This isn't just mythology. This is the most detailed description of consciousness judgment ever created by human civilization. And what makes it truly unsettling is what modern neuroscience is discovering about how our daily choices literally rewire our brains for this exact type of moral weighing. But here's what they never tell you about the heart-weighing ceremony. It wasn't just something that happened after death. The Egyptians understood that this judgment is happening to you right now, in every moral choice you make, every day you're alive. Tonight, I'm taking you inside the Hall of Osiris, where gods determine whether your consciousness survives eternity or faces complete annihilation. You'll discover what this ancient wisdom reveals about conscience, moral weight, and the terrifying possibility that some choices might have permanent consequences for your soul. Your heart is already being weighed. The question is, will it be light enough to pass the test? This isn't speculation or spiritual interpretation. What you're about to see comes directly from the papyrus of Ani, the most complete version of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, housed in the British Museum. These 37 meters of papyrus contain precise instructions for navigating death's ultimate judgment. According to Egyptologist Dr. Joanne Fletcher, the heart-weighing ceremony appears in over 200 surviving papyri and countless tomb paintings. The consistency across 2,000 years suggests the Egyptians considered this literal documentation, not symbolic mythology. But here's what makes this ancient knowledge so disturbing. Modern neuroscience research by Dr. Antonio Damasio at USC reveals that moral decision-making literally changes heart rhythm patterns. The Egyptians were documenting something that happens at the intersection of consciousness, morality, and physical reality. Before your heart faces the scales, you must survive the journey through the Duat, the Egyptian underworld. This isn't a pleasant float toward the light. It's a gauntlet of 12 gates, each guarded by beings with animal heads and eyes like burning stars. At every gate you need the right words, the correct spells, the secret names of guardians. Get it wrong and you're destroyed before ever reaching judgment. The Egyptians spent their entire lives memorizing these passwords because they knew ignorance meant annihilation. Your soul wasn't just one thing. The bar carried your personality and memories. The car contained your life force. These had to reunite with your preserved body, which is why mummification was so crucial. If any part was missing or corrupted, you faced incomplete resurrection. What they discovered about consciousness will shock you. Every choice you make is literally building the soul that will face this judgment. Modern psychology calls this moral identity development. The Egyptians called it preparing for eternity. Finally, if you survive the 12 gates, you enter the Hall of Two Truths. Here stands Osiris, god of the dead, flanked by 42 divine judges. In the center, golden scales that will determine whether your consciousness continues or gets completely erased. Anubis approaches. This jackal-headed god isn't just a guide, he's the one who determines your eternal fate. His role here is absolute. No appeals, no mercy, no second chances. The scales reveal mathematical truth about your existence. Watch carefully. Anubis removes your heart and places it on one side of the scales. This isn't your physical heart, it's the record of your entire moral existence. every lie told, every act of kindness, every moment of cruelty or compassion. On the other side, a single white feather from Ma'at, goddess of truth and cosmic order. This feather represents perfect moral balance, the weight of a life lived in complete harmony with truth and justice. The scales begin to move. Your entire existence hangs in the balance. Every selfish act adds weight to your heart. Every moment of genuine compassion makes it lighter. The feather seems impossibly light, yet it can outweigh a heart heavy with wrongdoing. Here's what modern neuroscience reveals about this ancient ceremony. Dr. Richard Davidson's research at University of Wisconsin shows that acts of compassion literally rewire your brain, strengthening neural pathways associated with empathy. Acts of cruelty do the opposite. The heart that gets weighed isn't metaphorical. It's the sum total of your neural configuration built through millions of micro-choices. The Egyptians understood something we're just rediscovering. Your brain physically records every moral choice you make. If your heart balances perfectly with Ma'at's feather, Anubis nods with approval. You've proven that your consciousness developed in harmony with cosmic truth. But if your heart proves heavier, weighted down by selfishness and cruelty, Amit steps forward. Part crocodile, part lion, part hippopotamus. The three most dangerous animals in ancient Egypt combined into the ultimate destroyer of corrupted souls. Meet Amit and understand true terror. This isn't a demon or devil from later religions. This is cosmic justice personified, the universe's method for removing consciousness that has become too corrupted to continue existing. Amit doesn't torture or punish. She does something far worse. She devours both your heart and soul completely. This is what Egyptians called the second death, total annihilation of consciousness itself. You don't go to hell. You don't suffer for eternity. You simply cease to exist, as if you had never been born. Complete erasure from the cosmic record. Your consciousness, everything you ever were, thought or felt, deleted permanently. This ancient concept reveals something terrifying about moral consequences. Modern psychology recognizes that some destructive behavior patterns can become so ingrained they essentially destroy the authentic self. The Egyptians took this literally. Think about it. When someone becomes so consumed by addiction, narcissism, or cruelty that their original personality disappears, have they already experienced a kind of soul death? The Egyptians believed that some choices could literally erase who you truly are. Every time you choose kindness over cruelty, truth over deception, courage over cowardice, you're literally strengthening the consciousness that will face this ultimate test. Every selfish choice weakens it. Ma'at wasn't just another Egyptian goddess. She represented the fundamental force preventing reality itself from collapsing into chaos. Without her, the sun wouldn't rise, the Nile wouldn't flood, civilization would crumble. She embodied truth, justice, harmony, and cosmic order. Living according to Ma'at meant aligning yourself with the natural order of existence. When you told the truth, you strengthened reality's fabric. When you acted justly, you maintained cosmic balance. What the Egyptians understood about truth will change how you see morality forever. They believed that lies literally weaken the structure of reality itself. Modern systems theory confirms this. Deception in social systems creates cascade failures that can collapse entire civilizations. The feather of Ma'at became the ultimate measuring standard because it represented perfect lightness, a life lived without the weight of wrongdoing. Small and delicate, yet it could outweigh a human heart heavy with selfish deeds. Notice something profound here. The standard wasn't heroic achievement or grand gestures. It was the lightness that comes from living authentically, telling truth, treating others with genuine compassion. Ma'at's feather measured moral elegance, not moral effort. Before facing the scales, you had to make the negative confession, declaring your innocence of 42 specific sins to 42 divine judges. This wasn't a simple "I was good" statement. It required addressing each judge individually with precise denials. "I have not stolen," you would declare to one judge. "I have not killed," to another. "I have not caused anyone to weep," to a third. The list covered everything from major crimes to subtle moral failures like gossip, environmental pollution, and disrespecting the divine. Remember, your heart contained the record of your entire life. The judges already knew the truth. You couldn't simply recite words. You had to genuinely be innocent of each accusation, or your heart would grow heavier with the weight of falsehood. Modern cognitive behavioral therapy uses almost identical techniques. Daily moral inventories, honest self-examination, taking responsibility for specific harmful actions. The Egyptians were practicing advanced psychological healing 4,000 years ago. Each confession addressed not just actions but intentions. "I have not desired what belongs to another" went beyond theft to cover covetousness itself. The Egyptians understood that moral purity required attention to thoughts and emotions, not just external behavior. After the weighing, you face Osiris himself, the ultimate judge of the dead. But Osiris wasn't just another god passing judgment. He had experienced death personally and understood its mysteries intimately. His brother Set murdered him out of jealousy, dismembered his body, and scattered the pieces across Egypt. His wife Isis gathered the fragments and used divine magic to resurrect him, making Osiris the first being to overcome death. This personal experience with mortality gave Osiris unique authority to judge the dead. He knew what it meant to suffer, to die, and to be reborn. His judgment came from understanding, not distant divine authority. If your heart had balanced with Ma'at's feather, Osiris would declare you justified or true of voice. This wasn't just approval, it was recognition that you had learned to live according to cosmic truth during your mortal existence. What near-death experience research reveals about life review matches Osiris's judgment perfectly. Dr. Kenneth Ring's studies show that people who clinically die often experience detailed review of every choice they made, feeling the impact on others from a perspective of perfect moral clarity. Osiris represented the possibility of transformation through death. Just as he died and was reborn, worthy souls could die to their old selves and be reborn into eternal consciousness while maintaining their individual identity and memories. For those who pass the weighing, Osiris opens the final gates to reveal the field of reeds, Egyptian paradise. This isn't harps and clouds. This is life as it was always meant to be lived. Here you reunite with loved ones who preceded you into eternity. Parents, children, friends, companions, all restored to their prime, free from illness, aging, and death. These reunions span centuries, connecting souls across vast stretches of time. Work becomes pure joy rather than burden. You cultivate eternal gardens that never fail, sailboats on celestial rivers that never run dry, feast at tables that never empty. But this isn't passive indulgence, it's active engagement with perfected existence. You continue to grow, learn, create, and explore, but now in perfect harmony with cosmic truth. No suffering, no limitation, no death, only the endless expansion of consciousness in alignment with universal order. Modern psychology recognizes similar states. Flow states, peak experiences, moments of perfect harmony between challenge and skill. The Egyptians believed paradise was this optimal experience extended into eternity. The heart-weighing ceremony isn't waiting for you in some distant afterlife. It's happening right now, in every choice you make, every day you're alive. Every time you choose truth over convenient lies, you're making your heart lighter. Every act of genuine kindness strengthens your consciousness for whatever judgment awaits. Every moment of cruelty or selfishness adds weight that might tip the scales against you. Try this ancient practice. Each evening, review your day honestly. What did you do that created suffering? What brought joy or peace? Where did you choose truth over comfort? This is the daily preparation the Egyptians practiced for the ultimate weighing. Your closest relationships are laboratories for heart preparation. Every argument tests whether you choose being right over being kind. Every conflict reveals whether you can admit fault and seek genuine reconciliation. Your career tests your heart daily. Will you lie for advancement? Cut corners that harm others? Choose profit over people? Every professional decision is adding weight to or lightening your heart for the cosmic scales. Remember what neuroscience reveals: every choice is literally rewiring your brain. The heart that gets weighed isn't metaphorical. It's the sum of your neural patterns, built through countless micro-decisions about how to treat others and yourself. The Egyptians spent 4,000 years developing the most sophisticated understanding of moral judgment and consciousness survival ever created. They discovered that life itself is preparation for an ultimate test of whether your awareness is worthy of continuing. What makes their wisdom eternal is this recognition: consciousness isn't guaranteed to survive. It depends entirely on the moral weight you accumulate through how you choose to live. Your heart is being weighed right now. Every choice between compassion and cruelty, truth and deception, courage and cowardice is determining whether your consciousness is light enough to pass the ultimate test. The question isn't whether you'll face judgment. You're facing it every moment. The question is, when your heart meets Ma'at's feather, will it be light enough? The Egyptians left us one more secret about preparing for this cosmic judgment. Hidden in their most sacred texts is a practice so powerful it could transform your consciousness completely. But that's a revelation for another time.